Orale, bienvenidos and welcome to the Familia FFB podcast. This is your host Jorge Martin. Familia, let's go to New England. Let's go to Beantown for a little bit of Familia FFB NFL Insider series with our compadre, our amigo Andrew Callahan of the Boston Herald, and don't forget that Pat's Interference podcast. I mean, he kills it on there. Mi amigo, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, third year in a row. How about this?
Third year in a row. You know, I hope Pelon Taqueria has taken care of you by now.
Yeah, they're great. We still have La Boca Grande across the street from me now. I moved recently, so they've been good. It's all solid, but you got to have a burrito place nearby.
Love it. And I love the way you rolled the R's there. So that was muy bien, mi amigo. Before we get started, just want to make sure hit Familia FFB on YouTube, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Also, when you go to Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code. Oh, wait a second, I got the wrong promo code on there. Use the promo code Familia. Hit that when you make your first deposit for $250, you get matched the first $250. So make sure you get in there, hit that promo code Familia. So mi amigo, a little bit of difference, new coach, Belichick's the only one you've known for a long time, for more than 20 years in the New England area. With Drake Maye is going to, we've also got a new quarterback, but with Drake Maye, with the first round pick, Jacoby Brissett is still there. Can you give me an idea, kind of like what the offensive is going to look like with maybe Brissett at the beginning and then Drake Maye toward the end?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we're all going to find out together, right? Because it's not only just a new coach and quarterback. We got a new offensive coordinator, and that's Alex Van Pelt, who's with the Browns for the last 4 years, runs what, I think the broad term, and I think we have to get more specific here now because there are so many of these Shanahan coaches across the league. But this is more old school than I think you would find currently in LA or San Francisco, in that it's predominantly wide zone run game, right? And a lot of boot play action stuff. So when you're talking Shanahan, it's not Kyle, it's Mike. And it's interesting to see how they're going to use those kind of base concepts to build the rest of the offense, which I think will be a deep downfield passing game. Because when you look at those Browns last year, they had 5 quarterbacks. Again, Van Pelt was the offensive coordinator, Kevin Stefanski ran the show, but they had more intended air yards than any other offense in the NFL. Meaning, when their quarterbacks threw the ball, that ball covered more yards in the air, whether it was complete or not, than any other offense in the league. So when you look at Drake Maye's arm, you look at Jacoby Brissett's experience in this offense, this will be a deep play action, run game focused offense. It'll just be a matter of how long can they stay in games, because of course, when you fall behind, you're not running the ball anymore. And that's going to be a lot of strain on the quarterback and the offensive line.
Yeah, so much is going to be made over the course of the season over Drake Maye. Rookie quarterbacks taking that high almost always end up playing in their first year. With Jacoby Brissett being such a valued and respected veteran throughout the NFL and especially in the New England area, is it a back half of the season when Drake Maye might take over, when they might break him in?
Yeah, it's a good question because, a lot of this is going to be dependent on training camp, right? I mean, they haven't even practiced in pad yet. So the little progress we did see from Drake Maye in terms of his footwork and the fundamentals, because he was predominantly in a shotgun offense. And then when pressure hit, because UNC had a pretty bad offensive line, if we're being honest here, that it forced him into some bad Superman habits, the bad Josh Allen plays. That's what he had. Not obviously the same quarterback, but the same mentality. I'll do more, and sometimes it results in less. So for them, they need him to do the boring stuff well, and until he does that, you have probably one of the more boring quarterbacks in the league. Very respected, like you said, but we know what Jacoby Brissett is. He's a little slow-footed. He's got a slow delivery and wind up, but he protects the ball well enough. It's just that he's bounced around the league for a reason. He's between the 25th and 35th best quarterback in the league. So he's a placeholder. He's here to literally take the hits behind a bad offensive line again here in New England and just kind of bide time. It's a 1-year contract, $10 million, 8 of that was guaranteed. That says, yeah, you're probably a high-end backup, low-end starter. That's what he is. And we'll just have to see how they battle it out. But I firmly believe that Jacoby Brissett will start week 1, and then it's anyone's guess as we get later in the year when Drake Maye will step in. Because, again, we haven't seen him practice in pads even once just yet.
So you talked about the importance of the running game, and you mentioned Mike Shanahan. I just have visions of Terrell Davis running all over the NFL for a couple of years and just being one of the and all his way on the way to 2 Super Bowls and Hall of Fame. That's high expectations, but when building around the offense, one of the guys that I've been recommending a lot is Rhamondre Stevenson. He's going at pick 80, 81 in underdog drafts. Is it something? Is he going to be the focal point, or how much is Antonio Gibson going to eat into his touches?
Yeah, it's another good question because, with this offense, again, they want to run the ball, and I think they want to alleviate some of the pressure that Rhamondre Stevenson's had. When in 2022, he was over 300 touches, something we never see from running backs really anymore. And that was a guy in his second season, and you could see the physical toll when his yards after contact really dropped off the last 4 or 5 weeks of that season. Now, going into 2023, he was a little banged up. Again, poor offensive line. They're starting all these day 3 rookie draft picks because they just didn't have the bodies available to them. The offensive line gets better, and then boom, December 1st, he has a high ankle sprain against the Chargers. We don't see him the rest of the year. So what he wants and what I think they want from him is to stay healthy. And the way you meet that kind of goal is to obviously alleviate some of the stress and the carries for him. So Gibson will eat into this. But I think right now, if you're mapping out what their primary personnel group would be, and maybe not in terms of total snaps, most snaps played relative to other personnel groups, but Antonio Gibson and Rhamondre Stevenson are among their 5 best skill position players until the rookie receivers prove them otherwise. So I think they could play together. And obviously the question for Fanny is to see is how many catches do they get, how many carries. Stevenson is number 1 in this skill position group, so he's 1A. And Gibson, as we know, has a fatal fumbling problem. So if you're at pick 80 or 81 or whatever that is, I would feel comfortable. Just understand that the league that you're in, I hope it's a half-point PPR. I hope maybe it's even a full-point PPR because they're going to be on the field a lot, trailing, and that will lead to them throwing the ball more than Rhamondre Stevenson might get you running the ball.
Okay. You mentioned the rookie wide receivers. Can you give me an idea on the pecking order? Because there's still Demario Douglas coming back and Kendrick Bourne coming off of a torn ACL. And, if you want to throw Hunter Henry into the mix, can you give me an idea how the pecking order will kind of run for the season?
Sure. So Kendrick Bourne's coming off the torn ACL. It's unclear if he will be totally cleared for the start of training camp. And because he didn't participate in OTAs and mini camp, even if he is there day 1, helmet, pads, pants, I'd imagine they still ease him into this, right? So he's not going to be number 1. Pop Douglas, to me, is going to be their top target in terms of total targets and catches. And he's excellent after the catch, but he didn't have a touchdown last year. So that kind of puts you behind the pecking order in fantasy, right? And I go to Hunter Henry as a very safe 1B or number 2 tight end option because, he's going to live over the middle of the field. This is a dude who is not great after the catch. I'm going to throw to you in the back corner of the end zone, stop routes on the hashes, little in cuts, whatever it might be. And that is going to be the best friend of a rookie quarterback and a veteran, Jacoby Brissett, who he knows where to go and what to do. And I'm going to rely on him. So all of these are really low ceiling options. And when you talk about the rookies, Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, unlike previous Patriot seasons, when those dudes, if they just looked at Brady the wrong way or turned 45 degrees at the right angle, they were just never seen again. They're going to get a chance. I'm just saying if you draft Javon Baker, or you draft Jalen Polk, who were only running with the 2s and the 3s back in the spring, give it some time. These better be dynasty or incredibly deep leagues because the payoff, I don't believe, based on what I've seen, this could change, will be week 1 to 8. It would be in the back half of the season once they get through the growing pains, get more reps, and everyone is more comfortable in this offense.
No, can you get an idea of what kind of usage either one? More slot, more outside?
Yeah, Polk can play both. Javon Baker is more of a perimeter receiver, and I talk about those intended air yards. Both of these guys are very capable down the field. Polk's excellent in contested catches we saw in college. We'll see how that translates to the league. Baker, he was first known in New England when he got drafted and jumping on a Zoom call with reporters for saying he makes people in wheelchairs stand up. So that dude is not only just full of ego and bravado, but also someone who, could run into some clashes with the coaching staff. We're just being realistic here. And even with Drake Maye, it's a little bit more welcoming and player friendly. You got to prove it. You're a 4th round rookie at this point. It's great you have that confidence. It's just, if we're doing the depth chart thing, KJ Osborne, I think would be, 2 to Demario Douglas is 1. Kendrick Bourne is 3, including the injuries. And then you're really trying to figure out until Polk says, hey, this is why I was a 2nd round pick, that he would be 4 and probably Baker 5.
Yeah, that and Keon Coleman were my favorite rookie quotes. Anything back from Keon Coleman were my favorite rookie quotes this year. getting people to stand up. So love it, man. You hinted at the offensive line. How much of a work in progress is it this year?
Yeah, right now on paper, it's a bottom 5 offensive line, and this is partly due to health, the inability to find a starting left tackle in free agency or the draft. And look, when you come in with the needs of a number 1 wide receiver, which has just been a black hole for 5-6 years here in New England, a quarterback and a left tackle, and you handle the quarterback theoretically, you'd rather have done that and left the other 2 than the reverse. So what they're doing at left tackle, instead of having a proven starter, is Chukwuma Okorafor, who started at right tackle for the Steelers the last few years and kind of got put in Mike Tomlin's doghouse, is now moving to left tackle. He's not played that position since college. They also drafted a rookie, Caden Wallace, who played right tackle in college at Penn State and is going to be there. But to me, that's a question mark, as is right guard, because City Sal, who was a day 3 pick last year, really panned out, played excellent football down the stretch, is going to move from right guard to left guard because Cole Strange, everyone's least favorite first-round pick from a few years ago, is now out till Thanksgiving or later. So to me, I've described this as a 2-front war where, okay, Sal plugs a hole at left guard, but then you're left at right guard. Oh, and we still don't know about left tackle. Like, those are real problems. So if David Andrews at center or Mike Onwenu, who's going to be a good right tackle, or even City Sal gets injured, then you have more question marks and solidified starts, and that's where we are right now. I think there is a world in which this solidifies in training camp. Nick Leverett, who's a veteran journeyman that they signed, can fill in and play right guard, and Okorafor is great. He's fine. We just don't know yet. So right now you have 2 out of the 5 positions. It's a question mark, and that's why everyone looks at them and goes, yeah, this is a bottom 5, at best bottom 10 offensive line in the league.
Oh man. Well, I mean, that with the rookie quarterback, I guess you want to make sure that's solidified. Maybe they coalesce a little bit more before you put them back there, and hopefully the rookie wide receivers start to show up by then. One last one on the other side of the ball. This is all. How much of a rebuilding program is it there?
Yeah, defensively, they're ready to run it back, and that's really what they did. Matt Judon is in a little bit of a contract issue here last year of his deal, which they revised last year after a hold-in. But everywhere around him, Jelani Savai just got an extension. Kyle Duggar re-signed. Christian Gonzalez is looking for this year 2 leap at corner. Jonathan Jones is back opposite him. Jabril Peppers, Dwan Belly. Christian Barmore is now the second highest paid defensive or player ever in franchise history, behind only Tom Brady. So this was a unit that missed its 2 best players in Gonzalez and Judon last year after week 4 and still finished top 10 or 12. And they're going, okay, if we get them back, naturally other guys are going to get injured, but we're not going to be the most injured defense in the league by adjusted games lost. We'll be better. So I think this is legitimately a top 5 unit. Still some question marks naturally because that's just the NFL. But this is a really good defense. They knew it. They brought it back. And it's a great blend of young players and veterans. We just obviously want to see how it all comes together on the field and what, if any, tweaks they make schematically, because, of course, Bill Belichick's gone and Drake Maye learned under him, as did DeMarcus Covington, the new defensive coordinator. But it's the players have run back. I'm just curious about the system tweaks made around them.
Oh, love it. Oh, man, amigo, we got. I think we got the heavy lifting done, but you got to give me some of your a recent any favorite Mexican food take to just kind of close things out. Or it could be anything else. Tequila, margaritas, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, sure. So I know I'm deep into it. If at late at night I'm asking for straight tequila because I can't do it. It's like sign of trouble. I'm like, yeah, this will be fine. And we were gifted. I got married last year, and my wife's cousin gifted us this beautiful bottle. It's the best tequila I've ever had straight. And I know the name was either Rosada or Rosado. And anyway, it's like $100 bottle. Yes. Okay. So that was the best I've ever had straight, but I'm more a margarita guy. And so that's, Saturday afternoon, Sunday night, a couple of those, and I could go with enchiladas or, I talked about the regular burrito, just anything. Like I'm a very simple eater, very basic, but there's just a nice comfort there of like, I know I'm going to get, and I have my margarita. And after the first one, just it's not just good, it's great.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I know it's an expensive bottle of tequila, but every once in a while, treat yourself, make a margarita out of it with that. I've had, I've in the past, I've used, I've made margaritas with higher end tequila, and it just takes it to takes it to the moon. So just every once in a while, you still want to be able to enjoy the high end tequila. I'm a big fan of sipping it, almost like a cognac. Yeah, just not because I want to enjoy it. The bad stuff is the reason why people shoot it. So the good stuff, it's just you just savor it. Enjoy it, mi amigo. Andrew, this is always awesome. I am shouting out Joe Dolan, our mutual compadre, on this one for connecting us. Muchas gracias, mi amigo Jose. Always. But I'm not going to root for the Phillies when they play the Dodgers. Okay, mi amigo. Please feel free. You got training camp about to kick off. Please feel free. Pump anything you got coming up.
Yeah, sure. Pretty much everything you can find for me is on X, Twitter @_ Andrew Callahan, and that's CALLAHAN. Also the same on Instagram, which I'm going to launch and do a little bit more of this year. My YouTube channel, where you can find my podcast, Pat's PATS Interference. A little pump for you there, but yeah, plenty of articles from the Boston Herald as well as the pod, some videos, and some radio and TV hits here and there. So it's a busy time of season, my man. Vacation is over. I'm kneeling at the grave. I'm sipping a margarita here, just saying, good to know you, good to see you, and it's on the football season.
Yeah, exactly. Tell the friends. Okay, only Saturday evenings, maybe.
Yeah,
if you got that. So, hey, and once again, congratulations. I know it's been a year, but congratulations to you and your wife. I mean,
thank you very much, Jorge. I appreciate it.
Muy bien. You know, familia is everything. As the name of the show. Well, one more time. Want to say muchas gracias to our invitado, Andrew Callahan. Also, make sure Boston Herald, check out his work. Make sure you're using that underdog promo code Familia. First $250 deposit. Use that promo code, you get matched up to that point. And hey, I'm Jorge Martin. You can find me at Jorge Martin 17. Push all the content out there. And hey, you know what? Let's get ready for training camp, Familia. Remember, todos somos familia. Salud.